McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
There's no purpose in teaching anybody who don't really want to learn, who really don't want to get to it. Everybody want to play entrepreneur. They don't want the sacrifice that come with this shit. Truly.
Late nights, early mornings.
You're going to lose friends, lose girlfriends, family going to call you crazy, not going to believe in you, then you make it, and then everybody going to be like, I'm proud of you, let me get some money.
What I've realized that wealthy people understand, and people in general, it's the small concepts that you can apply to get wealthy. You don't gotta be super smart and gotta know all the intricacies of real estate or taxes or e-commerce or whatever, trucking, whatever it is.
It's good if you want to be rich in that business, but you don't need to know that.
You don't need to know everything. You just need to know small, basic concepts. And one of the smallest basic concepts that anybody can understand is get money, buy income. Get money, buy more money.
I woke up feeling wealthy today. My bank account might not agree, but hey, that shit on the way. Me and my niggas laying brick on top of brick till we straight. If you the type that play the victim, you can't come in my space. You know this game ain't for the weak, it's hard to carry this weight. I keep my balance through the ups and downs, I'm never gonna break. You feel the purpose in my spirit when you look in my face. Cause this ain't a second I can waste, I'm putting food on plate.
What's happening with it, my wealthy people? It is your boy David, one of the founders of the Black Wealth Renaissance. I'm here with my brother from another. How you living, dog?
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jalen, man. I'm living good, dog. Just came off a long little haul working, dog. I was in New Mexico. I'm good, man.
Yeah, man.
A little tired, but I'm good.
Hey,
a lot of driving.
Boy's been in a period of sacrifice, putting in that work, man. We on these IA gigs. I'm currently working 7 days a week right now, bro.
Yeah, that was me.
7 tens. Look, we just putting it in, but temporary sacrifices for long-term gains. We talk about it all the time on the platform. Delayed gratification.
That's a fact.
It's
and
like,
we living it. We living it. You see it by example.
And it's uncomfortable, but we do what we got to do so we can get what we want. What's the saying? Live like most won't,
so you can live like most don't. Yes, sir.
That's the grind we on.
Hell yeah.
But y'all already know what it is, man. Another episode of the Black Wealth Renaissance podcast. We coming to give you value
we back
in the purest form. Back and better. Yeah, it's been a little minute. I think we went on a little siesta while we was on this grind, right? Yeah. You know, every now and again you gotta lock in, but we here and we got another great episode for y'all. I'm excited about this one. This has been in the works since November of last year.
Really, a little bit before then.
Truthfully. Whenever we first connected, Black Men Summit on the Build Your Health panel, yes. Man, we had this powerful brother. We got an opportunity to meet. Shout out to the Black Men Summit. If you wasn't there, punch yourself in the face. You got to be there this year. It's going to be in Atlanta. But no, got a chance to connect with this brother, and his story is powerful. It's genuine. It's true, and it's something that Black men need.
Yeah, I love the mission. The
mission, the purpose, the vision. We have none other than the man who is teaching Black men how to express themselves authentically and leading with vulnerability. None other than Kizzle of Express Yourself Black Man. Kizzle, how you living, bro?
My brother. I'm good. Jalen, you know I got to give him
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. How you doing, my dog? Appreciate you, dog.
I'm good. Yeah. Man, listen, I'm happy to be here, man.
Hey, man,
we happy to have you, bro.
I'm too happy to have you. I appreciate you coming out from New York, man.
Of course, bro.
You and the Queen.
Of course.
Yeah, shout out to Queens. I ain't been there yet, but we gonna get there.
Of course, man. Listen, man, I'm happy to be here. Black Wealth Renaissance. A lot of times the conversation about wealth is centered around finances, but we know it's more than that, bro.
That's
mental health is part of the wealth as well. You get what I'm saying?
That's
so Express Yourself Black Man, that's the platform. What we do is we create a community of healing for Black men specifically, right? And so how I do that is exactly how you said, leading with vulnerability. I share what I've been through in order to create a space where we feel comfortable talking about the things that we've all been through. And it's all about creating solutions for all of us as black men to be able to use. And one of those solutions that we have inside of the platform is called Safe Haven. And so what we do inside of Safe Haven is we have a holistic healing platform. We take a holistic healing approach, right? So not only do we connect black men with therapists that act as coaches, but we also connect them with doctors through a partnership that we have with a nonprofit organization. We also have meditation that we do weekly with them that's led by wellness experts. And then we also, on top of that, have a psychoeducational group that happens twice a month that's led by black therapists. And we have other stuff as well. But if I keep going, we're going to be talking the whole time about, you know what I'm saying?
I was about to say,
so
wait a minute, man.
I didn't know it got that deep.
Yeah,
bro.
it gets deep. You know what I'm saying? Because I always tell people, you don't just heal off of social media alone. You know what I'm saying? You don't just build generational wealth off of social media alone.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You need to actually tap in and do the work. And part of doing the work is getting connected with the resources. So that's what we do inside of Safe Haven, bro. So yes, sir. I'm happy to be here, man.
I love it. The
bro.
mission is beautiful. The vision is like exactly what men need. Because, bro, coming from where we come from, growing up as black men in America, I think like that's one of those things we just don't talk about. Like, I know as a
mental
kid,
health is definitely
mental health
shunned
was like
or
not a
overlooked.
thing. Yeah, like, man, go pray about it. And like, I'm not saying prayer don't work, but it's like sometimes, you know, I need a little bit more assistance than just to go sit down by myself with it. I need some tools. I need some resources that are going to get me out of this situation.
Yeah, that's a fact. And you know what's interesting too? I had somebody come on the podcast and they were talking about, you need to pray about it. And I was like, listen, man, I get it. I understand. Listen, I love me some Jesus. I love God, right? It's
Easter Sunday.
It's Easter Sunday right now.
We love
listen,
the Lord.
I love the Lord, but at the same time, sometimes the Lord is saying, listen, you got to go and talk to somebody. And praying about it all the time and disregarding the actual resources that you have to do the work, that's not the best recipe for success, in my opinion, right? Like,
that's disregarding the formula God gave you.
Right.
I also think it's something that you've said, I've heard you say it time and time again. It's not either or, it's a
both.
combination
It's
of both of them.
Yeah, it's both.
I think that a lot of people, they hear things and they're just like, oh, I have to go there or there, but you can do both of them.
Right.
And you praying, God could be using whoever is going to be your therapist as, you know, the conduit to say, hey, this is what you need to do, because maybe you couldn't interpret it in your own right, but he gave them the knowledge to explain it to you in a very simple way.
Nah, that's a fact, bro. We get into black and white thinking a lot, right? Which is like, it's either this or that. Like, if I'm praying, then that's all I need to be doing. If I'm going to therapy, that's all I need to be doing. Nah, bro. You need all of them, right? I talk about therapy a lot, but let's not get it confused. Because I love my therapist to death, right? But my spiritual relationship helped me heal as well, right? So I had to have all of that combined. My spiritual relationship with the platform has helped me to carry the platform to where it is right now. I always tell people on the platform, I'm just a vessel. You know what I'm saying? I am just a vessel. I'm just a man, right? And God is using me in order to help black men to see that they need to invest in their mental health, whether that be getting to the therapist, doing meditation, figuring out how they want to journal, whatever their medium is. But I'm just a vessel. So my spiritual relationship is very, very, very important. Without my spiritual relationship, I'm nothing. Right? Like, I'm not able to do the things that I'm doing. So we can't get that confused. We need to have God, and we also need to have the therapy aspect of it as well, because we understand what happens when we don't express ourselves. We internalize it, then we blow up on the people around us, on our families. We're not able to operate when we're trying to actually provide outside of just financial provision. When we actually need to provide emotionally and support the people around us, we're not able to do those things because we're not expressing ourselves and we're not taking care of our mental, right? And that's the therapy aspect of it as well. So we need to have both of those mediums. And that's why I approach it from a holistic healing perspective with Safe Haven, right? Because I know therapy alone isn't gonna just change somebody's life, right? Like, therapy is great and it's going to help you a lot. But you also need to have that spiritual relationship. You also need to have the finances in order. Black Wealth, Renaissance, right? We also have a certified credit repair specialist inside of Safe Haven that helps people with their credit, helps people to work on their finance situation, because we understand if you can't get money and you're struggling to survive just the basic necessities, at that point, you're in survival mode. It don't matter what I tell you as a therapist or as a coach, you can't really apply it.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Because you're just trying to
stuck
figure
on
out how to
this.
eat.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you need that aspect of it as well. Then you also need the physical health aspect, right? You need to have your fitness together, right? So it's about approaching it from all different dimensions. I think there's 5 different dimensions. There's physical, social, there's intellectual, emotional, and then there's spiritual, right? And we want to take a holistic healing approach to make sure we approach all 5 of those dimensions. We don't want to leave any one of those out, because once you start leaving them out, then there's an imbalance within that individual.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So what even got you on this journey? Like, what brought you to creating Express Yourself Black Man?
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good question, bro. Like, I went through my own battles with my mental health, right? Like, I was like most black men, right? Like, I had both of my parents growing up, but what ended up happening was, like, I had wounds from those parental.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
Relationships. Not that my parents are bad parents or anything like that, but I just had wounds from those parental relationships. And so I ended up seeking out a lot of physical love in other people, right? I was seeking out like the voids that I had within myself in other people and in relationships. And so I got into a relationship, high school, and we ended up going to college together. And then in college, the relationship ended up failing, right? We ended up breaking up, and that led to me experiencing depression because I couldn't forgive myself for some of the mistakes that I made in that relationship. My inner voice, like most black men's inner voice when they're not doing the healing work, was very, 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 very critical, right? And we have that critical inner voice either because of our parents, because of what we see in the society, and so we can be very harsh on ourselves, right? And so I was the same way. So I go through that breakup, and I'm very harsh on myself. When I'm by myself, I'm just beating myself up all the time, bro. Like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why couldn't you do this way? Why couldn't you be that way, right? And so that led to depression. That depression led to suicidal ideations, me not wanting to be here anymore. And so once I got to that point, I did what most black men do when they get to that point, which is try to grind my pain away. I'm like, you know what? I can't keep thinking about this all day, every day. I'm going to try and grind my pain away, which is like focusing on all these different things so I don't have to think about what I'm experiencing. And so I just went into just diving into work. And it helped me a lot because I learned like graphic design, I learned website design, I learned how to make merch, I learned all these different things, how to make websites, all these things, right?
But the problem is
right.
still there.
But the problem is still there.
It's
You
still
get what I'm
under the
saying?
surface.
It's still on the surface, right? I didn't dive deep enough to understand what was actually happening. So I ended up getting into another relationship, right? And as a result of that relationship, I got cheated on. Right, and the thing about it that I always tell black men is because I didn't do the healing work during that time when I was actually single and I just decided to grind my pain away, I had compounded trauma, which is trauma that happened as a result of trauma that I didn't deal with. So because I didn't deal with the base level trauma and I just ignored it and started to grind my pain away and got into another relationship, I ignored red flags in that relationship that I would have identified if I actually did the healing work. And if I identified those red flags, I leave that relationship early. I don't even get into that relationship to even be cheated on. So now I got to deal with betrayal trauma as a result of being cheated on because I didn't deal with the underlying trauma, which is me seeking out that physical love from somebody else, right? And so once I got cheated on, I knew I had a pattern of being in relationships where things weren't working out. I was like, you know what, bro? I need to do something, I'm doing self-reflection, I'm doing introspection, but I need to do more, right? Like I need to figure something out because there's a pattern and I don't know why this pattern is here, but I know something's wrong. And so I got into therapy. And when I got into therapy, I was like, damn, bro, like I'm learning so much about myself, bro. Like I'm learning so much about myself. I thought I was self-aware before therapy. Once I got into therapy, I said, damn, I don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to this black woman, she's picking me apart. Like, yo,
you know,
she's not tearing me down,
Like,
but she's really identifying things that I didn't even realize I had issues with. And so after sessions, I'm just like, bruh. And then I'm on Instagram. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta get into therapy, blah, blah. And one of my bros is like, yo, bro, you gotta start something because you really spitting. And that's what started Express Yourself Black Man. Before that, I had an initiative called a Kizzle brand, which is a project aimed at raising awareness for depression and helping people through difficult times. And all the stuff that I learned in the Kizzle brand helped me with Express Yourself Black Man. So even though a Kizzle brand never really took off, all the things I learned with a Kizzle brand helped me to build Express Yourself Black Man. So that's a lesson for people too, right? Bro. When y'all was talking about staying down until you get up, and sometimes you gotta do what people won't do in order to live how people don't, right? Like, bro, I did a Kizzle brand from 2017 up until 2020. 3 years, no traction, no profit,
but you got
nothing. But I got the skills. You get what I'm saying?
Bro, people underestimate that.
People underestimate that heavy, right? And for those years, I'm like, damn, why is this stuff not taking off? I know what I'm doing. Why isn't it taking off? And Express Yourself Black Man happened, and everything just started falling in line, bro. And I everything that I needed to do for the business, I had already figured out. Most of that stuff to take me off, to really get a good, solid foundation built, I had figured it out because I had made a lot of mistakes with a Kizzle brand. So Express Yourself Black Man is really just like, it's God that he gave me that passion and that drive. He gave me the name, everything, bro. That's why I always tell people, I'm a vessel. This is not just me. When y'all see the platform, yes, okay, my face may be on it and I'm leading the conversation and stuff, but don't ever be confused. All glory goes to God, bro, because I'm not able to do this by myself, bro. So yeah, man, that's the story, bro. I got into it because I've been through it. And I know, amen, in facts, right? I got into it because I've been through it, and I know what it feels like to be a black man struggling and not having a resource that really speaks to you and a resource that can actually help you. Because those are two different things. You can speak to me, but you may not be able to help me. We see a lot of podcasts that speak. And you got a Patreon, you got this, and you got that, but there's no resources. We need resources. We need solutions. Stop entertaining me. Educate me. Help me to get out of the situation that I'm in. Stop giving me escapism all the time. I need to be educated, bro.
That's good.
Give me something that's going to help me in my actual situation. And I'm not trying to throw no shade on anybody, but that's how I run the platform. It has to be solution oriented. I don't want people always coming back because of the same issue. Nah, bro. What else? How can we level you up
about this issue?
Nah, we not joking about it. How can we level you up, bro? This ain't just entertainment. We trying to change your life, right? And that's how I always approach the platform. So it's much more than just, yo, we just gonna have a podcast and we gonna talk about this and we gonna educate somebody, throw some content out there. Like, nah. That's why we had the Safe Haven platform, because it's about creating solutions for black men and giving them resources that actually help them level up in their life, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's like, this is your form of evangelism. Like,
facts.
Purpose here. Like, you went through what you went through so that you could help other men.
Of course,
and
bro.
I kind of want to go back into that beginning of that journey, son, with that first time you talking about the compound trauma. Because, like, I think about it how we think compound interest. It works in every realm, right? It's the same concept in every realm. If you're not doing the work, I think it's the law of entropy, if I'm not mistaken, right? Things that are left to themselves will always go toward chaos. If you don't tend to it, if you don't take the time to put the work in, it's gonna deteriorate. If you got a garden, you don't pick the weeds, it's gonna get overtaken by weeds. Your vegetables are gonna die. Like, it's the same concept with everything in life.
You're gonna clean your house, it's gonna get dirty.
It's gonna be dirty. Then you have them big rats.
The New York rats.
Them big New York rats.
Hey, dog, you a fool, man.
Nah, but on some real, I love that garden analogy, bro. That garden analogy, we cannot sleep on that, bro. Because everybody starts with just dirt. Everybody starts with just dirt. And it's about what you plant.
You gotta till that soil.
It's about the lessons that you get instilled in you from all the different situations that you go through. And then you start planting different seeds. And before you know it, if you don't take a look at your garden, you don't cater to your garden, you got a bunch of weeds there that you thought were roses.
I want to double down on this, right?
Yeah, what's up?
So whenever I was in New Mexico, somebody said something. They was like, the fruits that you're eating right now is the seeds that you planted 6 months to a year ago.
That's a fact.
So wherever you're at in life, it's because of the seeds that you planted 6 months to a year ago. So if you want to eat better fruit, if you want to be more healthy, what are you going to plant today to put you in a different position 6 months to a year from now.
And then also, right, I love this garden analogy, bro. What are you going to dig up from your garden right now to make space for the new thing that you actually need?
You got to pull some stuff out.
You get what I'm saying? Amazing. You got to pull some stuff out. There's a lot of trauma. That's when we talk about the compounded trauma, right? There's a lot of trauma that's underneath at the root that you have to really get to. You got to
till that soul.
Exactly.
That's what
bro.
it is.
You got to really till that, bro. And so until you do that, you could be planting all the roses you want, and they can look like roses on the surface. But if you go underneath, you got a bunch of dead roots and all of this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be able to do the work to dig underneath. And a lot of black men run from that. A lot of black men don't want to talk about their childhood. They just want solutions for the surface level problems. I don't want to talk about childhood. Give me solutions right now. I want to solve all my problems in a 60-minute session. I don't want to ever go back to what happened to me when I was a child. I'll never want to go back there. Solve all my problems in a 60-minute session. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's that instant gratification. I need everything right now. And if I got to go through something for more than a month or 2 months, God, don't let it be a year. You know what I'm saying? I built all this trauma over 20 plus years of my life, but don't let me have to take a year. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me have to take a year to fix it. If I have to fix it in a year, this shit don't work for me and therapy don't work. That's how we get, that's the approach that we have. You can't have that approach, bro. You can't want everything to be so instant. This ain't oatmeal.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't 15-minute instant oats.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we making lobster out here, man. Like, we having a full course meal. We cooking Thanksgiving dinner out here. It's gonna take some time and some prep.
But it's gonna be worth it.
And it's gonna be worth it. Would you rather have oatmeal? You know what I'm saying? You want that Thanksgiving dinner? You ain't coming to nobody's Thanksgiving meal and they serving you oatmeal only.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be mad.
I'm out. I'm out of real upset.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Going elsewhere.
But that's what black men want. That's what a lot of black men want. They like, you know what, man? Thanksgiving cool, but give me that 15-minute instant oats. At least it's gonna satisfy me for right now. They want quick salute. Like, bro, you can't always get that, bro. Sometimes it's gonna take some while. You're gonna be in the kitchen working on yourself for some time, bro. But when you come out of there, you already know you've done the work and you can really move forward as a more comprehensive whole individual. Rather than you trying to take a 15-minute solution, then you always gotta come back for more, bro. Like, nah, do the root work so that you don't have to come back to these same problems, or that you know the solutions when you face them again. You get what I'm saying? Because we face some of the same problems over and over and over again. I believe that. The universe will give you the same problem over and over and over and over again until you go through the solution and until you learn the lesson. And if you're sitting there looking for 15-minute quick solutions instead of doing that introspection and really learning from your past and your mistakes, you're always going to be following the same problem. You're always going to be stagnant. I know y'all know some people that
patterns, bro.
You know what I'm saying? They go through the same shit over and over and over again.
Same time of the year, exactly. Like
same stuff over and over again. We all have that friend, and we start thinking to ourselves, why the hell can't they get over this? Because they always looking for a quick solution, and they never sit down and really assess, what can I do better? What can I do better? They don't want to sit there and go to therapy. They don't want to journal. They don't want to meditate. They just keep going day after day after day, living their life on autopilot.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Life is a scary place to be.
It's a scary place. There's a lot of people on autopilot right now. There's a lot of people on autopilot right now.
You're not living with purpose.
You're not living with no type of purpose. Nothing.
You're just moving through life. That's how you end up 20, 30 years down the line. What happened?
Look back. Yeah, what
we was talking about rats earlier. That's the rat race right there. That's how you get in the rat race.
That's a fact.
Right? Where you just living life on autopilot. You just go throughout your day. You don't even. Every day is the same. You're not doing nothing different. You don't got no plan for yourself. You're not doing no self-reflection, introspection. You don't know how you leveling up. You don't know what your weaknesses are or the things that you need to work on are. You don't have any idea. You just keep on going through every day the same exact way over and over and over again. We ain't trying to do that, and that's why the platform ain't for everybody too. Because sometimes people get on they see the platform, like, fuck, I ain't ready for this. I ain't gonna follow. You know what I'm saying?
And that's 100% fine. So I think, like, sometimes whenever we're building businesses and stuff, right, we want to help everybody. But sometimes people got to be in a certain phase. You can't just
help everybody.
I can't get the person who don't want to drink They at the water, they looking, they thirsty, but they refuse to take a drink. I'm not about to be out here begging you to drink this water.
I just did a podcast, and it was Tim. Tim was asking me. He was like, "Yo, how do you convince a black man to go to therapy?" And I always love that question, right? Because convince is a key word. If I got to convince you, it's not for you. Mm-hmm. You got to come with that interest. Right? Now, if he had said, how do you get a black man that's interested in therapy to go to therapy? Oh, we got solutions right there. We're ready. Get into Safe Haven. SpecialSelfBlackman.com/safe-haven. Let us connect you with a therapist. We good. That's what we do, right? But if I got to convince you, it ain't for you. When I'm having a conversation with you and you're saying like you don't know if you're ready, you're not interested. All right, brother.
Not ready.
You know what I ask people? I say, yo, are you comfortable doing the same thing that you've been doing? Is it getting you results? If so, then you don't need me. Why are we talking? Are you comfortable where you are? If you are, then we don't need to have this conversation. But if you're not and you feel like, yo, bro, there's things that I need to do to be doing better, then okay, let's figure that out, right? Because that's a whole different conversation, right? And I think a lot of black men know they're not comfortable where they are, but at the same time, they're uncomfortable with making the decision to get out of that uncomfortability, if that makes sense, right?
Do you feel like it's because us as black men, we feel like we're going to be judged, or sometimes we're afraid to be vulnerable because we feel like we're going to be taken advantage of?
Yes.
Things like that?
Yes, absolutely. And I talk about that on the platform all the time, right? So as black men, we have been socialized that we have to be good all the time. If we ain't good, something wrong with us. And if something's wrong with us, that means we're not a man. So as a man, I feel uncomfortable if I ever got to tell somebody that I'm not good. Yeah. So of course we dealing with that.
I had the worst day ever. How you feeling, bro? I'm good, dog.
Yeah, we're gonna always say I'm good, right? Because there is no alternative. That's how we've been socialized. There is no alternative to being good. That's why when you ask a black man how he's doing, it don't matter if his mother just died, he gonna say I'm good. You know why? Because if I'm not good, then something is wrong with me. If something wrong with me, I'm not a man anymore. My identity is gone. Right, and so we have to work on that socialization. I work on that a lot with black men, right? Just getting them to understand that it's okay to not be okay. And I'm not wearing a shirt today. I wish I was wearing a shirt today, right? But it's okay to not be okay, right? Black man, it's okay to not be okay. A lot of the stuff we do is affirming and validating black men for where they are right now and who they are right now, who they truly are, not what they do, right? Like, who is David? Who is Jalen? Y'all do podcasting, but that's not who you are, right? Your identity is is who you are, not what you do. And a lot of times we associate ourselves with what we do or what we have to provide versus who we actually are. So that's why it's very, 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 very hard for us to say, yo, I'm not good, because we've attached our identity to what we do and what we can provide for people. You get what I'm saying?
Everything
so
externally.
All external. We don't even know who is Kizzle at the core. Who is David at the core? Who is Jalen at the core? If we take all, you know what I'm saying?
This shit good. Can we do an exercise? What would you do in your group in Safe Haven for new members, right?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out who they are.
For trying to figure out who they are, bro, it's real simple, right? What would you do, right? Like not even what would you do, right? Like what are you really, really, really passionate about? What would you do if you had none of this, no social media following, you didn't have to make money off of it, money wasn't a thing, what would you be doing? What would you be doing? And when you really ask yourself that question, you really sit and think about it, you really start to find out, okay, this is who I am at my core, right? What am I really passionate about? What I tell people, for me all the time, I always use myself as an example because it helps other people, is if I didn't have Express Yourself Black Man, I don't have the platform, I don't have money, anything. At my core, I'm somebody that loves to help people, right? I love to help people. Express Yourself Black Man just happens to be the medium that I'm using to help people. But I love to help people. I love to help people about everything. It doesn't have to just be mental health. Mental health is the medium. It's something that I'm passionate about, but it doesn't have to be that, right? And so for me, at my core, is someone that loves to help. Someone that loves to help, that's kind, that's compassionate. That's who I am at my core. As a person, that's who I am. Now, I can do that in a variety of different ways, but you see how that's different,
it can
right?
Be applied. I can go. I can help somebody who's stuck in the street,
right?
Move their car, or
right?
I can help
and
a
that
black man find a therapist.
Exactly, and that gives me that is where I find my joy. So when I connect with who I am instead of what I do, it's okay for me to not be good because you're not stripping me of who I am. You know what I'm saying? You're not stripping who I am. I'm not good right now with podcasting. I'm not good right now with the business. That doesn't mean that you're taking away my identity. That doesn't mean that I'm any less of a man, because I understand that I've attached that to who I actually am, which is a person that likes to help. You can't take that away from me. You can never take that away from me. I can always go and help somebody else. How you gonna take that away? You can't, right? So that is what gives me the space to be able to just be like, all right, cool, I'm not good, and let me see what I can do. So if all of this was taken away from me, finance is gone, you know, I don't have the platform anymore, all that kind of stuff, I'm still good because I can go out and help somebody else. That's who I've identified myself with, is somebody that likes to help. So you really got to get to the root of who you actually are. Fuck all these cameras. Fuck the platform. Fuck all of the stuff that you're doing. It's great, right? It's great. But all of that can be taken away. We don't want that to happen, but it could, right? And
who are you without it?
Who are you without it? And that's a question that a lot of men struggle with, right? Because it's like, you're telling me to go against how I've been socialized. I've been socialized that I gotta come out here and put food on the table, make sure I make this money. This is how I make this money. So now you're telling me to think about who I am without making money? The fuck? Nigga, I make money. That's who I am, right? Like, I make money through doing this. Like,
that
what do I
becomes
do?
a lot of men's identity.
Exactly.
Yeah, if your identity is for my family.
Exactly.
I see that particularly in the older generation a lot as well.
Exactly.
Like when I think about my dad, your dad, like I see that for that older generation. And it was something that you hit on earlier.
What's up?
And you talked about, you know, the wounds that you had as a child.
I'm glad you
and I
brought it.
wanted to bring that back up because I think that a lot of, you know, kids are dealing with wounds as children. And, you know, sometimes as kids, we make sometimes situations bigger than what they are. And sometimes we have to tell ourselves, it's okay to happen. But also, I want to know, how do you bring that up to your parents, right?
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy, that's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
McDonald's meets the Minecraft universe with one of 6 collectibles and your choice of a Big Mac or 10-piece McNuggets with spicy Nether Flame sauce. Now available with a Minecraft movie meal.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time, a Minecraft movie only in theaters.
Let them know, hey, look, I look back at this, I internalized, you was still a kid while trying to raise a kid, because that's something I had to learn on my journey. Like, I really look back at it, I was like, my mom had me at 23. And I looked at where I was at 23. I was like, nigga, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm like, how can I be upset at her for this? So like, how does that healing process go for you? I think that's something that would help our community advance so much further if we could have those conversations.
Yeah, well, first of all, you got to be able to have the conversation, right? Not everybody has a parent that they feel comfortable going to, right? So that's the first thing. Understand and identify, where am I at with my relationship with my parents? Do I feel like I can go to them about this? Would they be open and receptive to it? And how would the conversation go, right? And be honest with yourself. If you feel like, yo, my parents are not going to be receptive to this, don't put yourself in a space where you're going to be out here getting traumatized again, right? But if you feel like there's even a chance, just a slither of hope that they will be receptive to the conversation, have that conversation, right? And so for me personally, I've had a variety of conversations with my dad where we would talk about things that happened when I was younger, right? And also, one thing that you mentioned a lot that is very, very key to talk about is that grace that you gave your mom, right? She had you at 23. Come on, bro. Like, she was young, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that same story, but at the end of the day, I have parents that immigrated to the U.S. They didn't know what the fuck they was doing when they got out here. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know what they were doing, right? So they made a lot of mistakes, naturally, right? I didn't see my mom growing up a lot. Why? Because low income, household, right? She has to go out and make bread. My mom was the breadwinner in my family, so I barely got to see her in like the real mother nurturer role because she has to go out and make money, right? My dad immigrated. It was hard for him to get a job. My mom had to be the one to go out and get that money. So for me, having those conversations with them was really just, first of all, I had to get to a point where I wasn't resenting them. Because there's a lot of resentment as you get older, as you start going through your healing journey, you start identifying things that happened when you were younger that you thought were normal that weren't actually normal. You know what I'm saying?
Until you start getting exposure to other people and start talking about it.
Exactly, right? And so what ends up happening is, as a result of that, you start experiencing resentment because you're like, yo, why the fuck my parents did this shit, man? I ain't got, Joey parents didn't do that shit. Why the fuck I gotta go through this, right? And so you start getting mad at your parents. But the grace, that's why I talked about the grace, Jalen. You got to bring the grace into that as well, where it's like, yo, all right, cool. I'm mad, but let me add in a human aspect of where my parents. Let me put myself in their shoes. You know what I'm saying? Where were my parents at this point? If I had just immigrated from Ghana to the United States, would I have even known how to take care of a child? Probably not. I'm surprised I'm alive right now. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when the grace starts mixing in. You start realizing like, yo, damn, you know what, son? Man, you know what? They did the best that they could. And this is not the case for everybody. Not everybody's parents did the best that they could, but for my situation, I'm like, all right, cool. My parents did the best that they could. Doesn't mean I'm letting them off the hook, right? I'm still holding them accountable for what they could have did better, but I'm also understanding that they did the best that they could. And that's an affirmation as well for black men too. The reason why we be so hypercritical about ourselves is because we always feel like we gotta be perfect. Nigga, you ain't perfect, what the fuck?
Absolute accountability, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that mentality. Like if everything moves on me, and if I'm not moving right, or I'm not perfect, it's
on me.
Right,
on me.
Exactly. And it's like, bro, you ain't never gonna be perfect. Never. You're not even gonna get close to it, bro. And I understand you trying to shoot for that, but at the same time, you gotta understand when you fall short of that, you gotta give yourself that same grace you give your parents. So to tie it all back together, right, is first identifying where your parents are at. Then it's identifying what happened that you feel like could have been done differently, that could have had an impact on you. And then I think 3 is adding in that grace so that you're not going into that conversation with a bunch of resentment and a bunch of unresolved emotions. And then if you feel like they're open to having that conversation, just one thing at a time. Like, yo, I was talking to this thing, I was talking to a therapist, or I realized this happened when I was younger, and trying to get more perspective. Don't go in there like, yo, you did some bullshit when I was young. You need to fucking apologize right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro.
Who the fuck is this?
Nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, no.
Bro, I'm throwing a pan at
No, not like that. Yo, mom, yo, dad, I was thinking, and I think this happened a lot when we was younger. And I just wanted to know, like, what was happening around that time? Like, what was going on? Like, why did that happen, right? Because I feel like it impacted me a lot as I got older, right? And I want to get your perspective on it. You come in with a little, a mellow tone. You don't come in all hot, and you just have a conversation with them, and you let them explain, right? And then you'll be surprised to learn what some of the bullshit was going on around that. I learned some crazy shit was happening when I was younger.
Family
secrets. We almost lost a fucking house.
Family secrets be crazy to the motherfucker.
Bro, we almost lost our house, and I'm sitting there worrying about the damn PS3.
Facts.
Why I ain't get the PS3 for Christmas?
Facts.
Nigga, we trying to pay the mortgage.
Facts.
And I'm upset at y'all for that because I got A's in my class, and I thought I was gonna get the PS3, but y'all was worried about paying the mortgage so that we would end up on the street. And now that's something that I carry into teenage years.
I feel resentment at y'all.
And now I'm
at my friend's house. He got the PS3. I'm hot.
And now you don't give a fuck about the A's.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, yo, man. Like, you got to really understand and add in that grace aspect. Once you add in that grace and you really see things from a whole, like a higher point of view, see things from their perspective, which is why I say go in and try and get more information instead of assuming that you understand what was going on. Because you can go through all the healing in the world. Your therapist ain't been your parent. They can tell you everything that they want to tell you and how this should have happened, how that should have happened, how these things should have played out. But at the same time, they ain't your parent. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that conversation with your parents.
Even if it's an uncomfortable conversation.
Even if it's a little bit uncomfortable. And again, I'll always caveat it with this. Some people's parents aren't ready for that, and that will lead to more trauma. So I'm adding the disclaimer. Understand where you are at and where your parent is at with their journey. If you feel like your parent will be open to having that conversation, have the conversation. But if you feel like they're gonna just shoot you down, bash you, abuse you emotionally or physically, insult you, whatever the case may be, don't put yourself in that position. You got to be in at least a neutral or a somewhat neutral relationship with them to have that.
This is good, man. This is a good conversation, right?
I got a question on that.
I wanted to pivot a little bit.
Okay, but I just got one last question.
What's up?
Do you think it's possible to heal if your parents aren't receptive or aren't ready to have that conversation?
Of course. That's when we get into boundaries. Right? Like, you got to set that boundary. Like, all right, cool. You know what? They're not ready to have that conversation. There's a boundary right there. Boom. Cool. And you have to figure out whether you want to, how you want to. It's boundaries and rules of engagement with that parent, right? Like, what kind of conversations do you want to have with them, right? Moving forward, what kind of role do you want them to play in your life moving forward? Do you want them to be able to play a role in your life moving forward, or do you not, right? And from there, you then facilitate the process with yourself, right? Because I understand having parental wounds, but I didn't really even need to have a conversation with my parents to deal with my parental wounds. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really need that conversation with them to handle my parental wounds. I went about it by going through my process of really learning how to love myself instead of seeking that love externally, right? Because that was my wound. I was looking for that physical love in other people that I didn't really get in the home. And the reason why I didn't get that love in the home is because my mom is out working, because we in a low income house, right? You know what I'm saying? She trying to make sure we pay the mortgage. So she don't got time to be nurturing the way that other moms would if they were staying at home. And I understand that. That's where the grace comes in, right? And I didn't really need to have a conversation with her about that, because it's like, bro, what am I gonna tell you? Why the fuck you work so much? Mm-hmm. I know why you worked. Right? Like, I get why you work. So for me, it was about doing the work within myself to make sure that I reparented myself. That's a big thing when we talk about parental wounds, is reparenting myself so that I can be able to really function as a comprehensive man in the world, right? And along the subject of parental wounds, since we're talking about it, I don't know when this episode is going to release, but it's good information for people. In May, we're going to be doing a mother wounds webinar, right around Mother's Day. We're going to be doing a webinar on how to heal mother wounds, right? So if anybody's interested in that, they can click the link in our bio. It's a free webinar. It's not paid. You come in there, you get the information. You can dip if you want to. We'll also have a discount for people that are interested in joining Safe Haven, so they can get information on how to heal their mother wounds and then get connected with resources that can help them to do the work in real time as a result of joining Safe Haven. So that's going to be in May around Mother's Day. And then inside of June, we're going to do a Father's Wounds webinar. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right around Father's Day, right? So how to heal father wounds, right? And that's going to be the same concept. It's free. You come in there, it's 60 minutes. You can get a discount on Safe Haven towards the end, or you can come in there and get the freebies and dip. You know what I'm saying? Get the free information and dip if you want to, right? So what we're trying to do is make sure that we have so many different avenues for black men to heal that is like, yo, bro, I can't sit here and say there's no way for me to heal anymore. At this point, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? We got the
Springfest and Ego Days are here at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery with purchase of a Select trimmer, blower, or mower kit. Plus, shop today for new and exclusive items you need for your lawn. So get ready for spring with the latest in innovation from Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Only at Lowe's. We help, you save. Offer valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Resources are here.
The resources are here. That's what I tell people. The healing is everywhere. At this point, it's on you, bro. Like, what you doing?
You just got to put in the work.
You got to be able to put in the work.
What I love about the Safe Haven well is you also have that community aspect.
Exactly.
That's a big part of it. Because it's like, I think of it like working out. You work out by yourself, you're not going to go as hard. You work out in a class, you with a group of people.
I'm going to use that. You just gave me a bar. You just gave me a bar. You don't even know what you just did, bro. That's going in the copy.
Hey.
That's going in the marketing copy. That's going in the branding copy for sure. That is a bar, bro, for real. And the reason why the community is so important, right, is because this is how I always explain it, right? When you start healing, you start elevating, you start separating yourself from a lot of people. We just talked about people that get stuck. What happened between you and those people? Y'all don't have the same relationship.
We don't have the same conversation.
Because you can't have the same conversations anymore. You're not there anymore. A lot of people peak in high school. We not in high school no more, bro.
That's
you
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying?
Bro,
like we not in high school no more.
makes
It's time to
10
elevate.
years I've been out of high school.
Bro,
That's
it's time
nuts
to
me.
elevate,
it's like,
bro.
if we talk about anything from high school, hey, you remember that? Done.
That's
Not
it.
no like, hey, let's spend an hour talking about, hey, man.
Bro, no.
Relax, brother.
That's what I'm saying, bro. A lot of people peak in high school, and what ends up happening is as you start healing, these are people that's peaking in high school. This is you.
I want to create new experience.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I want to hang with homie, but at the same time, homie just keep talking about high school all day. I'm not trying to talk about shorty from high school that you brought to the crib and that you had sex with and that you was so like. I'm not trying to talk about that no more, bro. How we getting this business going? Right? Like, how are we getting this healing facilitated? That's what I'm trying to be on. So that's why the support network is so important. Because as you start healing, you start separating yourself from people that peaked in high school, that's not doing the work, right? And there's nothing against them. Cool. If that's what you on, that's what you on. But I don't want to be on that, bro. I don't want to be on that. And so I need to be around a bunch of other black men that are doing the work. And so that's why we also provide the support network. It's not just about connecting you with a therapist and like, all right, bro, go do your work and figure shit out on your own. Like, nah, you need that support network so you don't have to heal alone. Because if you start healing, bro, that process becomes lonely. Once you start separating yourself from all the people that peaked in high school, it's like, damn, bro. And that's why a lot of people don't do it either, because like, yo, you around a circle of people and everybody is in that same place. They want to keep you there.
And they still expressing their trauma while you trying to heal from yours.
Exactly, bro. It's comfortable for people to be in that space. It's comfortable for people to be not working on themselves. That gets real comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It gets comfortable for people to just point the finger like, yo, this is the reason why I'm not there. This person did this. That person did this. The white man is making me do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, get the fuck away from me, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. Get away from me with these. Yo, get away from me with these excuses, bro. Please. I don't want to hear that shit all the time, bro. Because then I'm going to be sitting there stagnant like, yo, I can't do nothing. I don't want to be in this defeatist mindset. Nah, how can we work on these problems so that we can come to solutions? Stop telling me about how everybody else did you wrong. Start working on yourself, bro. And I'm not trying to come at nobody. I get passionate when we talk about this, right? But my thing is like, yo, bro, like, come on. We got to start taking some accountability, some personal accountability for where we at. We can't always keep pointing the fingers at other people, bro. So my thought process is, all right, cool. I understand that that's a problem. How can we solve that? And how we solve that is by having a support network of black men that are all going through the same process and the same journey that can help other black men along their journey. So it's not like, all right, cool, I'm going through this and I'm alone, but I'm healing. It's like, it's bittersweet. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be fully like, all right, cool, you get an immersive experience. We're going to connect you with a therapist. You also got the support network you can bounce ideas off of. You got the meditation in the morning on Monday and Wednesdays. You got the psychoeducational groups, even if you can't afford the therapy inside of the, even if you can't afford the coaching inside of the Safe Haven platform, you got that psychoeducational group that's twice a month, right? What I realized is I have not told black men how to get connected with Safe Haven, right? So Safe Haven, expressyourselfblackman.com. www.expressyourselfblackman.com/safe-haven, and that's how you get connected. Right now we have a wait list of over 200 black men on that wait list, bro.
Damn, that's major.
If by the
200
time
brothers ready to heal,
ready, they're like, yo, bro, listen, we trying to get in here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So by the time, depending on what time this releases, we'll either have that wait list gone and that link will take them straight to be able to go and sign up, or they'll still have to sign up for the wait list. But what we're thinking is by the time we run that Mother's Day webinar, we're going to have that wait list gone.
This is going to be out before then. This is going to be...
Yeah.
What, next Wednesday?
Yeah, probably next Wednesday.
Okay, cool. And we got to get y'all connected too, because what we're also doing, which is a real big opportunity.
I'm at the webinars.
No.
I'm tapped in.
No, I'm trying to. This is a business play, right? This is a business
okay,
play.
yeah,
I know y'all
talk
about black.
to me.
Sit up, black man. Come on, listen. I know y'all about the black wealth, right? And it's not just for y'all. It's for anybody listening, right? So what we're doing is we starting an affiliate program, right? So people gonna get a percentage off of the subscription for anybody that they refer into Safe Haven. So imagine getting paid
to help people.
Come on, you already there, my brother. You already there, my brother.
I love it.
You know we can't leave you out.
Hey, I love it.
I love it.
So we're gonna have an affiliate program, right? Where whoever you refer inside of Safe Haven, you get a percentage of their subscription for
In
the
perpetuity?
huh?
In perpetuity?
Yes, for the length of their subscription. for the length of their subscription.
You can't.
You know what I'm saying? So if they in there for 10 years, you getting it. You getting it for 10 years.
A healing and an income opportunity.
Healing and you come on, my brother. You see it. So we gonna talk. We gonna talk off camera, and we gonna talk about that. But that's part of the revamp that we doing. We're literally rebuilding the platform from the ground up so that we can offer these opportunities, right? Because y'all don't know any other platform that's doing that. No. None, right? And what we're trying to do.
We need this as black
bro,
men.
what we're trying to do some revolutionary stuff, bro. In order to do that, we need to make sure that not only are we able to help black men heal, but we incentivize black men to help other black men heal. What's the best way to do that? It's to extend the platform so that we divvy up the bread, right? Like if you bring somebody else in, bro, you should get some bread off of that. Not just like, all right, cool. What BetterHelp would do is like, all right, cool, we'll pay you $100. And all right, but it's a one time, like, yeah.
Well,
but we gonna make
credit to your subscription, actually.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, nah, bro. We gonna take this bread, go do whatever the hell you want with it. You don't gotta pay it to the subscription, right? Take this bread that you get off of referring your mans or whoever it is to the platform, and go do what you need to do with it, right? And depending on how much referrals you get, like, and how much the platform can grow, bro, you can end up making. I don't know where the numbers is at, but listen.
So. If
you can end up making some bread off of that.
I'm a black man. I want to join Safe Haven.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like once the wait list opens up?
So what we're going to end up having is they'll have a sign-up page, right? So you sign up, put your information in. You tell us some of the things that you need help with, or you don't have to. But it's just better if you do, because what we'll do is we'll have a personalized onboarding experience for you, right? So like if you say, yo, I need help with depression, now we have that as like data that we can use to connect you with the right resources, right? So we'll have different issues that they can identify that they need help with. Once they identify those things, you put your information in, your credit card information in, you pay for your subscription, and then you get inside the platform. Inside of the platform, we're gonna have a directory that has a list of all the coaches, and those coaches are really therapists that operate as coaches so that they can do interstate and like nationwide stuff without all the like issues that come with licenses and all that, right? So we'll have a directory that they get access to, which is the healing aspect of it. Then we'll have the affiliate program somewhere in there where they can figure out how to get started as an affiliate. And then also we'll have the support network, which is run through a different platform, but they get access to that through their portal. So it's a single sign-on experience. Once you sign up through the website, you get access to everything else. You only need to just click into links, and that's pretty much it, right? Like, we're trying to make sure that once you sign into this, bro, you have everything you need at your fingertips. It's on you, right? And we're trying to center the black man and his experience in this, because a lot of times we don't get products built out for us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They build out these shitty-ass products, and they think that just because it's black mental health or it's mental health related, that black man should come to it. Excuse my language, but I get annoyed, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Just
like,
because it's a black business don't mean I should support it. I
Bro,
should
that's
support it because it's a good business that
happens to be black.
Ooh, y'all said that before. Y'all have said that before.
It makes sense.
That have said that before.
Because, like, you know, people always, black businesses get thrown in one bucket. It's like, oh man, I would support more black businesses, but they got bad customer service. They charge too much. They do this. It's
Don't put me in that bucket, bro.
Don't put every black business in that bucket.
Don't put me in that bucket.
It's some people, they just getting started out. I give grace in that range. Economies of scale. Whenever somebody's starting a small business, they're going to charge more for a product than Walmart. It's unrealistic to think they're going to give you a Walmart experience. They just getting started.
Right.
But it's like, just because somebody's trying to drop ship a $200 sweater don't mean that's all black businesses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and learn how to differentiate. As you said, it's not black and white. It's some gray area.
Yeah, and then also to this, right? Like, so what we do is we vet every single therapist that comes in as a coach inside of Safe Haven, right? And so we had them all sign on that they're going to offer sessions at $75.
The spirit of innovation is deeply ingrained in America, and Google is helping Americans innovate in ways both big and small. The Department of Defense is working with Google to help secure America's digital defense systems, from establishing cloud-based zero-trust solutions to deploying the latest AI technology. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at g.co/American innovation.
$75 is
crazy for therapy, bro.
Crazy.
Therapy, like, you looking at $150 plus.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, right?
It's like half off.
They come in, and the reason why we do that is because it's not therapy. We call it coaching, right? It's coaching. Everybody signs on. As a member, this is one thing I forgot to mention, right? As a member, when you sign on, you have to sign a waiver that you are not receiving therapy. And the reason why is because if we market it as therapy, we can fall into issues with the states and all these different licenses, the licenses, you got to get all these
doctor, patient,
it's all of that kind of stuff, right? All of that kind of stuff. Not necessarily HIPAA, but when you get into licensed therapy, right? And you're saying that you're providing therapy, but you're doing it nationwide, and you have a therapist that's licensed in one state and seeing somebody in a different state, you cannot do that. You get what I'm saying? So we have the waivers set up so that people know, okay, you're coming in, you're receiving coaching. But you're receiving coaching with a therapist. The therapist also signs a contract that they're giving coaching. They're giving coaching out. And so that's how we're able to facilitate the $75 sessions, right? And then we also have therapists that are able to see somebody nationwide because we make sure on the back end we have everything covered, right? And a lot of people aren't doing that, right? Because it's easier to just say, all right, cool, you in New York, we go and just funnel people from New York to you. You in Philly, we go funnel people from Philly to you. Well, you got somebody that's in Florida that needs to see that same person from Philly. That person from Philly has availability, but they can't see the person from Florida. Why? Because we got some bullshit ass license, some bullshit ass laws that really don't make sense at this point. We've passed COVID where almost all therapy is teletherapy. Most people don't sit down in front of their therapist. They sit down in front of a computer and talk to their therapist. So why the fuck can I talk to my therapist if they in Philly if I'm not seeing them in person anyway?
If he was from Florida and currently in Philly, what's the difference?
It don't make no sense, bro. It don't make no sense. But these are all the different, this is when we really get into the real like nitty gritty of like why sometimes it's so hard for black men to really seek out and find black therapists. Because even when you do say you want the help, now you start searching for a therapist, you got to go on all these directories that aren't up to date. And then when you do find somebody, maybe they're not even in your state. Or if they're in your state, they charge 150 plus. And you ain't got that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, all right, cool. I'm realizing these are issues. This is an issue. This is an issue. How can we create a program that's really efficient and it allows black men to come in, have a good onboarding experience, and they can actually get the help that they need? And that's the coaching program that we offer, where we have therapists come in and they sign a contract like, yo, we are providing coaching. We are providing a certain number of coaching sessions, right? And the members come in, they sign a waiver. We are coming in here for coaching only. We are not coming in here for psychotherapy, right? And then you go in there, you have a conversation with your therapist, and then you are able to actually facilitate the healing process. Because most black men don't give a fuck what it's called. Just connect me with somebody that can help me.
I just need the help.
I don't give a fuck what it's called. Coaching, therapy, psychoeducational group. I don't care. Get me connected with somebody.
Like Kevin Hart. Nigga.
Help me. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? For real. Like, yo, just get me connected with somebody that can help me. As long as you vetted that person and I know what they're doing and they're able to help me through the process, I don't give a fuck what it's called, bro.
That's really fire too, bro. The fact that you found a solution to that problem.
Yes, bro, because that's a big problem,
That's
bro.
a huge problem. And like, I don't want to glance over that in a business perspective. And I think, again, going back to your spiritual side of this, right? These are the types of solutions that not everybody has, but whenever it's something that's a purpose that's put upon you, you find these solutions.
You find it, bro. You find it.
You're walking in your purpose.
Exactly, bro. And this is the thing too, right? Like, I'm real passionate about it. That's why I be yelling, bro. I be yelling, you know what I'm saying? Like,
honestly, as black men, we need it. Why we love Stephen A. Smith so much?
Stephen get up there and he gonna give you a performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's true. And he's real passionate about what he talks about. I'm passionate about mental health. I'm passionate about getting black men into a space where they can actually feel like they're able to elevate and level up, bro. I'm passionate about getting them through their healing journey, right? And I realized, like, okay, bro, we have all these blockages. This ain't helping us, bro. It's not helping me that I can't see therapists that are in different states. And it's not helping me that everybody just decides like, okay, cool, this is how we gonna do the process. Like, nah, bro, we gotta be creative about how we find these solutions. And we have to be able to build these solutions at scale. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody builds things, it's like, all right, cool, we only got this available here, this is available here, this is available here. And I get it, I understand. Like, grassroots at first is gonna take some time. And I'm there too. That's why we put the waiting list up. We had 200 people Plus, it's safe haven, so we had to wait list it out until we can build the platform out at scale, right? I understand that. But yo, bro, let's get creative about how we build these things, and let's stop building stuff and just assuming that just because we built it and that it's helping or that it should help, that everybody should come to us and support us. Like, nah, bro, you gotta tell black men why they need to invest in their mental health over a TV. Tell me why I should put this money into my mental health over a TV, for real.
Because the TV gonna give me this escape that I'm gonna need to run away from my problems.
Why? Exactly, bro. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I watch TV, I get escapism, I get to play my P4, my P5. Why the fuck should I invest in a therapist?
I got this Ultra HD 4K.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why should I invest in a therapist? And what I tell black men is, reason why you should invest in a therapist is because that TV is gonna keep you stagnant and exactly where you at right now. And you got places that you need to be. That therapist is about to help you walk up them stairs, bro.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? You at the base level right now, bro. You got so many different levels you can unlock. This is why you need to invest into that coaching. This is why you need to get into safe haven. And when you start breaking it down like that, niggas is like, all right, cool, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I never met a black man that can't understand that thought process. But because we built things out and we just like, yo, bro, it is what it is. Come and get this help. Niggas is like, why the fuck should I? Why?
I'm good.
You ain't give me no reasons why.
The same reason that I'm good, bro.
We market everything else in the world. The one thing that it should be easy to market, which is therapy, investing in your mental health. Everybody like, all right, cool, we got the solution. Just come get it. No, bro, market. And the reason why is because a lot of therapists, they went to school to become a therapist and they don't know anything about business, but they starting a business. You get what I'm saying? All you know how to do is help people heal, and that's great. We need that. But how do you get people to the point where they understand? How do you get people to the point where they understand that they need to do the healing? You get what I'm saying? Like, and what I've realized is like I can talk all day about solutions, but if I don't tell you why you need the solution, you ain't gonna implement it. That's a fact. If I don't tell you what your pain points are, why you need this, you're not gonna go and do it. It's all hoopla to you. You got the TV on right now. You get what I'm saying? So I have to tell you why you need to start implementing these solutions, why you need to change. And a lot of therapists don't do that work. It's like, yo, bro, I'm just here. Here's my website. Go and book. All right, bro. I'm gonna see you in 20 never. Like, never.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be your
I'm good, bro. Yeah. I got all this stuff going on from day to day. I don't got time to be looking into stuff. If you ain't giving it to me in a way that's palatable and I'm able to understand it really easily and understand why, I'm not doing it, bro. And we don't take those opportunities. We don't take those opportunities to really market. I'm not gonna say we. I'm gonna say a lot of therapists.
Many people in this.
A lot of people in this space, right? And this is I'm never trying to, when I say this, I'm never trying to shit on nobody. I'm not trying to bash anybody. And the reason why I gotta add that disclaimer is because you know how people get, right? When they see certain clips on social media, who do you think you are? Why are you talking like this? You don't even know what you're talking about, blah, blah, right? I'm not trying to bash nobody. I'm just letting people know, bro, we gotta do better with how we market these things to black men. Black men are consumers as well. How do we speak to black men when we market these products? Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's always a product.
A product or a service.
It's a product or a service. And a lot of people don't know how to build out services and products. And when they do build it out, they don't know how to market it properly, let alone market it to black men.
We are one of the hardest target audiences to get to buy, too.
It's black men.
Yeah.
And it's not, you know what I realized, too? I used to tell my girl here, right? I used to tell my girl, black men don't buy. I used to think black men don't buy, bro. Nah, black men buy. We actually, men have spent more on Black Friday last year than women did.
Really?
Did you know that?
Nah, I didn't.
You know why? You know why? Because we buying TVs and shit.
It's a fact.
Women out here buying like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go to Bed Bath and Body Works.
Yeah, about to go give me about 10 candles.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting 10 candles, $10.
Dudes buy expensive shit.
We buy expensive shit. What does that tell you? We have money. We just don't spend it on this other shit.
Expensive ass toys and shit.
And once I started realizing that, I started changing my mindset about how I market to black men, because I'm like, oh, niggas got money. They just don't see they don't see why they should buy this from you.
They don't see the value.
You get what I'm saying? Why should I buy this from you? What is your support network giving me?
What is this? What am I? If I give you this money, what am I going to get?
Exactly. And most people don't think that. They think, oh, if I give you this money, you getting therapy. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. I don't know what therapy means. I don't care. What does therapy mean for me? Underneath that, what does that mean for me? Okay, bro, you know that depression you've been going through? How would you like to not have to deal with that? How would you like to not have to deal with that? That's what therapy.
When you wake up, you got this.
Since you're new to H&R Block, we'll look at your returns from the last 3 years for any money your last guy might have missed for free.
I could get money back from last year?
You could. We'll find any mistakes.
Could have really used that 2 years ago when I dated that mistake for 5 months.
Don't leave money on the table. Switch to H&R Block and get a free second look review. Second look is included at no additional cost with the purchase of tax preparation. Results vary. All tax situations are different. Fees apply if you have us file an amended return.
Feeling a weight on you.
Exactly. How about that social anxiety you've been dealing with, bro, where you don't feel like you want to go out and go to parties, or you don't feel comfortable going to different grocery stores and shit? How about that? How about you not having to deal with that anymore? Does that sound good? Oh, okay, cool. Well, therapy is an option for you. You know what I'm saying? What about that breakup that you still can't get over? Where you treat everybody like that same person.
You know what I'm saying? Still looking at her pictures.
You still dealing with the same shit. You know what I'm saying? You still dealing with the same shit, right? Because you keep on going through relationship after relationship where you're going through the same motions. You stuck on autopilot because you ain't never stepped up the stairs because you never really dealt with that underlying based trauma, right? If we really connect it all together, and that's what the therapy is. That's where the therapy is going to help you, right? Inside of Safe Haven, it's the coaching. Right, but you get in coaching with a therapist, right? So that is why. That's the why. When you spend your money, that's what you're getting. You're not just getting the coaching. You're getting okay, I don't got to deal with this issue no more. I don't got to deal with this breakup. I don't have to deal with this depression. I don't have to deal with this anxiety, right? And when we talk about depression, I want people to know this ain't clinical depression. Clinical depression means you need medication. We don't subscribe medication inside of Safe Haven. We can help you to find somebody, a psychiatrist that can help you to do that, but we do not prescribe medication inside of Safe Haven. So that's just always a caveat, a disclaimer that we have to give, right? But at the end of the day, if you're dealing with situational depression as a result of a situation or a circumstance, yeah, we can help you with that, bro. And this is what you're gonna be paying for. That's what you're paying for. On top of not just that, you get in the support network, so you don't have to do the process alone. You know what I'm saying? You get into meditation so that you can be able to deal with that anxiety that you have when you're going through your days. You know what I'm saying? You get in a psychoeducational group. So even if you can't go through the coaching, you got those free 2 groups a month with a black therapist and other black men inside those groups where I could talk about stuff that we go through as black men. That's what you're paying for, right? That's what you're paying for. You're not just paying for coaching. You're paying for the transformative experience that happens as a result of you taking the step to get into the coaching. And that's what we miss. I'm giving therapists a marketing lesson right now. Bro.
That's good.
I'm giving therapists a marketing lesson right now, bro. I need to stop talking.
They need to just get with you. That's
bro, for real. Oh yeah, we got that too.
If they're hearing this, if you're a therapist, I believe they should just link with Safe Haven.
Yeah, facts. We got that too. We are looking for more therapists. We're looking for more mental health professionals. You don't only have to be a therapist. You can be a life coach. You can be a social worker. Whatever you do that's in the mental health field, we are looking for you. So if you are interested in that, right? If you're interested in that, please send us a DM because we don't have a process right now for how we onboard you. Y'all said next week, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, so by next week, we probably ain't gonna have a process. So send us a DM, right? We trapping off the DMs right now. But send us a DM, say you watch the episode. We will expedite your application. I will make sure I go through it personally. I go through all the applications anyway. So send us a DM if you're interested in getting tapped in, you wanna work with black men, you wanna coach black men. You wanna coach black men for $75 a session, right? And you have slots that you can work with them on a weekly basis, right? Send us a DM, express yourself black man on Instagram, and let us know that you are coming from the Black Wealth Renaissance podcast, and we can tap you in with those black men inside of Safe Haven for sure.
I love it.
Now, Kizzle, before we wrap it, because there was one question I wanted to get on earlier, but I wanted to let you go down your train with it. So earlier, whenever we were talking, you mentioned that like growing up in a 2-parent household, you had those wounds, right? And that wound, you kind of touched on it a bit too, was that you were trying to find and validate yourself physically with other people who went through women, right? You're trying to. So I wanted to ask you, because I think as young men, especially young black men growing up in America, we're socialized to think that that's like valuable,
a badge of honor.
Like one of the first things that I remember as I started getting a little older was like, a lot more of the uncles and friends of the family, like they started being more comfortable telling stories about what they used to do with women and all these things. It's like, growing up, you start thinking that this is what's valuable. This is what makes you a man. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask you, like, in your journey, whenever you started healing and learning about that wound, what were some of the resources and tools that you used to stop finding validation through sexual conquest?
For me, it wasn't even sexual conquest. You know, it's interesting. I was abstinent up until like 21. Really? So it wasn't even sexual conquest for me. It was just the fact that I was able to be with somebody else, just be around somebody else, be in a relationship with somebody else. Really? That's all I wanted, right? So it wasn't sexual conquest for me, but this would still work for somebody that's dealing with the sexual conquest, right? It was affirmation, affirming myself, right? Understanding that validation starts within, intrinsically, right? I don't need to search for that externally, right? It's cool to get it externally. Don't get me wrong. We all love to receive love from other people, but you gotta love yourself first, bro. You gotta understand how to love yourself first. And for me, that process was affirming myself, affirmation. That's why I post an affirmation every weekday in the morning to black men, because it's so important. When we talk to black men about the platform, and this is another thing, right? Talking to your consumers. When I talk to black men about the platform, and I'm like, yo, what are y'all looking for? What are you looking for? Why do you like the platform so much? Most of them say, yo, bro, I love the affirmation in the morning. So even though some of those posts don't get the most engagement, they see it and they need it, right? And so I'm not gonna just not do that, because I understand the mindset that it puts them into, right? It helps to reprogram your subconscious and helps you to heal. Those are where the wounds are at. It's within your subconscious. You have these subconscious beliefs, right? And so for me, affirming myself, starting with I love myself. It's okay for me to make mistakes, right? I'm a human being. I'm allowed to make mistakes, right? I am handsome. You know, I am worthy of love and respect, regardless of what it is that I do. I accept myself unconditionally. These are all affirmations. And I think for us as black men, sometimes we get so stuck up on the physical, right? So when we're saying something and we don't see the physical results of it automatically, like, why the hell are we doing this? Like, nah, bro, take some time, do those affirmations, say them to yourself in the mirror, say them to yourself out loud, say them to yourself every day, and watch how your mindset starts to change about who you are as an individual. Affirmations are very important. Expressive writing, me talking about the things that I was dealing with, right? Me talking about what I'm dealing with now, presently, getting those thoughts out so I'm not always internalizing them, and then also meditation, bro. Sitting with myself, recentering myself, reconnecting with who I am, my purpose, what I've been put on this earth to do. All those things help me to realize, like, okay, bro, you know what your purpose is. Is your purpose tied to you having sex with a bunch of different people? Is that getting you closer to what you need to be doing?
Answer is no.
Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Unless you into, you know what I'm saying, those other things, you know, OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying? In that case, hey, brother, more power to you, right? But if that's not what you're doing, which is majority of men out here, then why are you out here doing that? Connect with your purpose, bro. What's your God-given purpose? What you out here supposed to be doing, right? And once you spend that time with yourself and understand your God-given purpose, you affirm yourself, you journal, things start to change. And you don't start to feel like you need to be out here diving into all these different things, because you understand you have a greater purpose about you. That's not to say that's beneath you, but
it is.
It is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's beneath what you're supposed to be out here doing, bro. You're not even on that timing no more. And that's when we start talking about taking the steps up the stairs.
Come on.
You gotta start listen, we're gonna always tie it back to that. Start taking them steps up those stairs, bro. And in order for you to do that, you need to get into coaching. You need to start talking to a therapist, and we can help you with that process, man. Get yourself into Safe Haven. Sign up for the wait list, sign up for the webinars, whatever you need to do, bro. Hit me up, DM me, whatever you need to do. Let's get you into that process, bro, because you need to be on your stuff. You need to be investing in your healing journey. I get it. Everybody wants the new J's. Everybody wants the Yeezys. We want the clothes. We want the TV. You know what I'm saying? But, bro.
I even think about it doing, like, you want to invest and make your money grow. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times there might be mental blocks or things that you're not dealing with that are stopping you.
Every person, if you listen, right? Because I listen to a lot of wealthy people, right? Every wealthy person will always tell you it starts with their mindset. What do you believe about yourself? Do you even believe that you can be wealthy?
Because if you don't believe, it's a very slim chance
it's a real slim chance. Everything starts up here, bro. Everything here was first up here. right? If you don't even believe that it's possible for yourself, it's never gonna happen. How do you believe that it's possible for yourself? You gotta get rid of those mental blocks. How do you get rid of those mental blocks? You gotta do expressive writing. You gotta do meditation. You gotta talk to somebody. You gotta affirm yourself. You gotta deal with the subconscious beliefs that you have about yourself. It always starts with mindset. It always starts with mindset, bro. In order for you to get anywhere, it always starts with mindset. What you think, what you believe, what you see, what you envision, right? And so this is why it's important. When we start having a conversation about why it's important to talk to a therapist, why it's important for you to get into coaching, that's why it's important. And that's what we need to talk about more instead of just saying, yo, bro, come into therapy and yeah. Like, nah, bro, why do I need that? Well, you want to be wealthy, right? You talk about black wealth, talk about generational wealth. Cool, you can make all the money in the world. If your mental ain't right, bro, you ain't going to be able to sustain it.
Have all that money and nobody
to share it with, because every time you keep on.
Hi, this is Debbie, your Blinds.com design consultant.
Oh, wow. A real person.
Yep. I am here to help you with everything from selecting the perfect window treatments
to... I've got a complicated project.
Oh, not a problem. I can even schedule a professional measure and install. We can also send you samples, fast and free.
I just might have to do more.
Oh, okay.
So the first room we're looking at is for guests.
Shop Blinds.com now and get up to 45% off with minimum purchase. Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Going back to that same breakup from when you was in high school and you keep treating everybody like shorty from high school or the person from high school. Like, nah, bro, that's the reason why all those relationships not working. So now you got all this money, you don't feel fulfilled still. You get what I'm saying? So we got to understand that, bro. We got to understand that. I know y'all got another pod. I ain't trying to keep it.
No, we good. I was just checking. I'm making sure that wasn't a guess. I was like, hey, look, we cooking. No, I'm here with you.
Listen, bro, not for real though, bro. We gotta really understand the root of the issues that we dealing with, bro. And a lot of times, this is a bar, right? A lot of times, us as black men, we like to think that money gonna solve everything. Man, all I need to do is just get me some more money. Get in my bag.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying? And I get that. I understand. Listen, I'm all about the bag talk, bro. But can we talk about the mental talk first? Can we talk about the healing talk first? Right? You can't get in your bag if your mental fucked up. You don't even know what a bag is.
You go fuck it up.
You don't even know what a bag is. And even if you know what a bag is, you gonna fuck the whole bag up because your mental ain't right.
Rip the bag in half.
Your mental ain't right. You can't sustain it. So many men that get all this money and still be emotional as fuck. Don't get me wrong. It's not wrong with being emotional, but your emotions control you. Your emotions control you. You a millionaire and you fucked up emotionally. I see them. I had that happen in my comments. I'm like, bro, I never want to be you. I don't even want to have I would never want to be you, bro. You can have all these millions, all these companies, think that you sold, all these things that you done. Bro, that looks cool, but I see right through that shit. I would never want to be in that situation. I'd rather be where I'm at, building what I'm doing, and know that I have my mental right than be where you at with all this fucked up ass shit, but you got money. And this is what we do. We put money over everything. So it's like, bro, I don't care where my mental at. My mental could be all the way down here. As long as I'm getting this bag, I'm good. Because that's what society tells us. As long as I'm getting this bag, I'm good, bro. But for me, I'm like, nah, bro, the mental is right here. We're going to get the money once we get the mental right.
Once again, it's not black and white. It's both.
Not black and white. It's both. You get what I'm saying? But we put the mental so far down because we chase the bag so much. And it's like, bro, I get it. I understand. But at some point, you're going to have to realize, like, bro, you're going to get all that money. And we think that money equates to happiness. It can help you. But if you ain't got your mental right, no amount of success is going to cover up those wounds that you have, bro. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
I'm picking up what you putting down.
Come on, bro. Man, we gotta prioritize these things, and this is what I start talking to black men about when it comes to prioritizing doing the healing work, bro. This is why you prioritize it, because you don't want to fumble the bag when you get the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see this all the time. Men that are in positions of power that are finally getting to the bag, and then they have all this stuff that comes out, all these things that they end up start doing, and they start fucking this shit up for themselves. Why? Because they never prioritize getting their mental right. And we don't learn. We just think, all right, cool, I'm gonna be good. It's not gonna happen to me. I'm gonna just get my money and I'm gonna keep going. Like, nah, bro, the same shit gonna happen to you if you don't prioritize your mental. You're gonna be out here with a bag and lonely, or you're gonna be out here with a bag fucking shit up for yourself because you don't prioritize your mental and you haven't prioritized your healing. And I'm tired of that same story for us as black men. Like, nah, bro, stop doing that. Stop. You ain't learned from something that just did that shit last year? I see the stories. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, bro. He had all this stuff going for him, and now he out here cheating. Why is he cheating? Because he got a fragile ego that he never dealt with when he was younger. You know what I'm saying? He got all this stuff going for him, and now he's out here abusing people. Why is he abusing people? Because he got abused when he was younger, and he never dealt with that. You get what I'm saying? We got to stop making the same mistakes. We don't look at stuff and learn. I look at stuff and learn. I ain't never had to touch the kettle for me to understand the kettle was hot.
You see somebody
know what I'm saying? I see somebody else burn that shit, and I was like, oh, fuck no. That shit hot as fuck. That shit look like it hurt. I don't want to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Now. I hate to be that person. I'm never going to be there. I'm going to learn. Yeah. But nah, bro, we think we just going, all right, cool. I'm going to touch the kettle. Even though it's hot for them, it's probably cool down for me. Nah, nigga, that shit's still hot. And you're going to make the same mistake if you don't prioritize your healing, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Listen, that's what I listen, bro.
Man, this has been fire, bro.
Yeah,
I love it, bro.
We're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot to the last portions of the pod. I'm gonna let you get your questions off, man.
All right, Kizzle. So we got questions that we like to ask everybody. It's our little last rapid fire section. So my question I always like to ask is, what are you doing to secure your wealth?
What am I doing? Ooh, that's a great question, bro. I'm working my ass off, one. But two, I'm investing. 401k, individual investment accounts. So yeah, I put like as much as I can into my 401k. Then I got a match with my company that I work at right now. So that helps me out a lot. I follow platforms like Earn Your Leisure. Earn Your Leisure is dope because they've really helped me out with like figuring out what type of stuff I should be investing in, right? So I invest in different like index funds, ETFs. I do an investment in my company as well. They give a discount on their stock. And then also building the business, right? So like having another stream of income that comes in and being mindful about how I spend that money. So like I invest it back into the business or I'm not spending it, right? Or I'm gonna put it in investments, right? So just being mindful about what I do with my money. Not out here just spending frivolously. Not out here trying to spend to impress anybody. Those are big things as well for us as black men, you know what I'm saying?
You know, mental hurdles that have to be overcame.
Right, you're like, oh man, I gotta get this.
External validation.
Right, exactly, right? When I internally validate myself, I don't need to spend to receive that validation, right? So I'm not out here doing that anymore. I had my period, don't get me wrong. When I was in college, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm starting to get into some money.
Got that refund check.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's time. It's time now. But nah, I don't do that anymore. So it's just being mindful about how I spend my money. And a lot of different investment accounts, a lot of different places where I put it. And also spending underneath. This is a big bar, right? So like a lot of times what ends up happening is once we start coming into money, especially as black men, we start coming into money, we start raising our expenses. You know what I'm saying?
Lifestyle creep like a mug.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you get into the space where you making the 6 figures that you thought was gonna really help you out.
But
now you still living.
And you still basically making
whenever
30
you was making,
a year.
when you was making 50, you was spending 45. Now you making 100 and you spending 90.
Yeah,
you did the same thing.
It's the same ratio, bro. It's just the same ratio. So I made sure I don't do that. Like I made sure I live way below my means. That's something that my pops taught me. So I live way below my means and I invest the rest. I only invest what I can afford to lose. That's a big thing too. Don't be out here investing your whole check now you can't eat. You still living paycheck to paycheck at that point.
Yeah, one of the dumbest things you can do is take some money you need, put it in an investment,
and then pull it out.
Yeah, think it's gonna go up and then pull it out like in a week.
That's betting. That's not an investment. You're gambling.
You're gambling.
You on FanDuel.
Because it's like, you just assume you might as well.
You might as well on FanDuel.
DraftKings, FanDuel. You treating Robinhood the stock market like that. That's not how that works.
You can't do that,
you go do that in crypto, next thing you know, the money, because you trying to do a quick flip instead of actually investing in something long term, you got the possibility of in the short term, that money might be worth less. And now, you in a situation where the $1,000 I put in worth $800. And now you I need that $800. It's like, don't do that.
I hate investing now, man. Every time I put money in these investments, these things don't work, man.
But you ain't take the time to educate yourself. Exactly, it all goes back to the same these are universal principles in all those different realms you mentioned. I'm glad you touched on the 5 realms that y'all touch on in Safe Haven because of that. But I'm gonna let Jalen get to his, 'cause I know you got a couple of.
My first question is always, are you frugal or are you a flexor?
Am I what?
Are you frugal or are you a flexor?
A flexor? Oh, I'm frugal as hell, bro. Don't let
my brother just said.
I heard it.
From the immigrants.
Yeah. My dad's Ghanaian. You know what I'm saying? Listen, listen. I'm always looking for a discount. Don't get me wrong. I love my black businesses, but if you got a deal, I'm gonna take it. All right. So I'm always looking for a deal. But I will pay the full rate. But I'm gonna ask you if you got a deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm frugal, right? It's not because I don't have the money. It's because I don't want to spend the money because I want to put the money somewhere else. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we need to be doing, right? So I'm definitely frugal. I'm not the flexer, bro. I ain't that, bro. I ain't that at all.
My last question is, do you have life insurance?
Yes, I do. Do my job, but once I end up quitting in the future, I'm gonna have to get my own.
My brother, I need you to just grab another policy.
Yeah, just get your little turn.
A little light turn.
Y'all got some?
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend that's looking for life insurance right now, so maybe I know y'all got another pod, but after y'all can hit me with some stuff.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm saying, it's a website we use. I'll just send it to you.
Please.
We got some people that we can refer you to as well if you like want to set up like a whole life or something like that. But if you just want to get some term and stuff, it's a website.
Hit me.
I got a $1 million policy for like $78 a month.
Oh, I gotta send a hitman on you. Okay.
Not a hitman. That's fine. My family gonna be all right. You ain't gonna get it.
They gonna get the insurance. They be like, this man just raised his policy. Yo, but nah, Kizzle,
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you coming out, bro. This has been a great time. I'm grateful that we got to discuss this on our platform. Please let them know how they can tap in with you, where they can listen to Express Yourself Black Men podcast. If they enjoy and listen like this, let them know about the webinars, all that.
Solid, yeah. So Safe Haven, first and foremost, if you're trying to get tapped in with any type of resources, it's Safe Haven, where we have.
What's poppin', guys? It's JG here from Blowing Smoke. If you're a fan of fun, insightful, and breakthrough conversations, then be sure to check out and subscribe to the Blowing Smoke podcast, a show that covers life experiences and firsthand testimonies from some of the biggest names in your favorite industries, and all that brought to you exclusively by the Revolt Podcast Network, anchored in hip-hop, powered by creators.
I have all of the coaching programs. We got the meditation and psychoeducational groups. And that is expressyourselfblackman.com/safe-haven. If you want to get tapped into the podcast, we have episodes with different guests. They could be therapists, they could be coaches, they can be friends, family. We talk about a variety of different things on the podcast. That's Express Yourself Black Man wherever you get your podcasts. And then if you are interested in the webinars, those are going to be in the links in our bio, right in the link in our bio. If you cannot find that in the link in our bio, you can send a DM. I can send you the direct link. And the link in our bio will be on the Instagram page. It's on the TikTok as well. And that Instagram and TikTok, the YouTube, that's all Express Yourself Black Man, right? So Express Yourself Black Man everywhere. Just go on Google, search up Express Yourself Black Man. Go to the website, expressyourselfblackman.com. And yeah, follow us on all the platforms if you're interested in the content. If you feel like I gave any type of value, definitely follow us on the platforms. And leave a review on the podcast, please, Lord Jesus. I'm trying to find.
Do that for us too.
Yeah. Leave a review on their podcast too, man. We try to get these reviews up. Please leave a review so we can find other people as well that need the help and that find value in what it is that we do. But yeah, man, Express Yourself Black Man, all platforms. I'm looking forward to whoever comes through as a result of this podcast. I appreciate what y'all do, and I'm happy that y'all had me on, man.
Hey, man, thank you for coming out, my brother.
Glad we had this conversation. Won't be the last. Definitely gonna chop it up again with you after this. About what we just talked about a little bit. But before we get up out of here, we'll hop into a couple house cleaning items. As always, y'all, thank you for tuning in. As Kizzle just mentioned, please make sure y'all leave us that 5-star rating and review. If you got some value from this episode or anything that we've done over the past, going on 4 years.
Yeah,
bro. That's
nuts, it is nuts. It's actually not going on. It's 4 years now.
That's solid, bro.
What?
Yeah, we've been fighting for 4 years now. Turn up.
But yeah, how the time flies.
It does fly. Like David said, y'all leave us a review. Let us know what y'all enjoy about the platform. Let us know how we can improve. Let us know anything that y'all have learned. We want to also always provide resources for you guys. So just keep on tapping in. As we stated, we in our bag, like making this money right now. Got some things going on in life, but we're gonna keep these episodes coming. Y'all stay tuned in, stay tapped in. We're gonna have some events popping off later this year, so y'all keep y'all ears to the street
may
for that.
Have something at the end of this month. Stay tuned. Motion.
I got motion.
That's a bit. You got anything else?
Nah, that's all. I'll let y'all know whenever we got more details. But until next time, this is Black Wealth Renaissance. Signing out.
Peace.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's.
I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.